Hello and welcome back again to the live studio here in Dresden at the Hygiene Museum, where we are coming to almost the end of our second day. I'm Caroline Busta.
I'm Lil Internet. We're co-founders of New Models.
Yes, and
we're your hosts.
We're your host for this. And now we are joined by two more members of Generation A equals algorithm, Jurgis Peters and what?
I'm sorry, but what generation?
That's a good question.
What generation is this guest a member of?
Well, maybe we can
maybe also Generation Algorithm, to be honest. We might have three members of Generation Algorithm here.
Well, Laima and Jurgis, maybe you can introduce yourselves and also our third guest here today.
Hello, I'm Jurgis Peters. I'm a visual artist and a developer, also a cybersecurity expert, actually.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, we're part of this project with Robot NaoMi.
Hi, my name is Laima Graždanoviča. I'm a visual artist as well, and somehow short film curator as well. And NaoMi has been our friend for at least a few months, yeah.
So NaoMi, and maybe genderless, but the name is NaoMi, is part of this Robots in Residence program, which is an initiative of the Goethe-Institut, which was started maybe a year ago or so, something like that. Would one of you like to tell us what this program is in broad strokes?
Well, basically, as much as we know, is that there are two robots, actually. Not only NaoMi, but there's GAIA as well. Two humanoid robots that are traveling across Europe. One robot is traveling one part of the Europe, and the other one. And in each of the countries where the robots travel, the robot meets a programmer and an artist. In our case, we are both artists, but Jurgis is more like a coder in this sense.
Cybersecurity artist, yeah.
Yeah. He does the magic in this sense. And in each of the countries, basically the team that is there, the artist and the programmer, they decide what they are going to teach to the robot. What is going to be the message and the baggage that the robot will carry on to travel the rest of the world, basically.
That's a great way of saying it. So you know, it's notable that in this exhibition and in this festival, we're now near the end of day 2, there's been really no talk or images of robots. And I think that was a conscious decision to push back against this myth of AI and robots being this like pop cultural symbol of some kind of
Skynet,
Terminator, exactly. And one could say, okay, well, we're looking at a white robot, you know, we're really just playing into sort of every bad idea that like robots have. But maybe there's actually an interesting idea in this, a robot that picks up baggage as it goes along with each culture that it interacts with, or I guess in this case, each European culture that it interacts with.
So to clarify, it retains the memory of all the places it's been.
That's the idea, yeah.
So can you just say what that means practically? So, and we're going to get into in a second what you program NaoMi to do. But so can you just explain what that means? So like if the next artist and developer were to receive NaoMi, they too could engage with it the way that you engaged with NaoMi and trained NaoMi.
Yes, so basically in every stop, the coder makes a program for NaoMi. So, when it goes to the next city, the next coder can just like replay it. So the robot would do exactly what it did before.
Well, maybe now is the time to actually engage with what you have taught NaoMi. And I know that you have some images, so maybe the best way to do it is to put the first image on the screen and you guys can talk through it.
Yes, sounds very good.
Fabian, could we have the first image in our series? Please.
I think this is actually the last image.
I think, this is the last image, maybe.
Yeah, maybe you could.
Don't
look at it. Don't look at it. Just
so this is a
surprise
spoiler.
ending. Sorry. I'm not sure which, because I renamed them to describe what's on the image. I didn't know there was a specific sequence.
Perfect example.
We don't know.
With both of us in
the
green field.
In the nature.
In the nature, yeah.
But you're okay to just roll with whatever image comes after that?
Okay.
Probably just...
Except for the one you showed. That's
because
definitely
it's so obscure if you don't know what else is there.
No, the one titled Künstler.
The one titled Künstler.
Where you can see both of us.
Yes.
It's probably
In
called
costumes.
Künstler.
See what happens when different information systems cross paths
I thought
and
I was
one logic
being, I
overrides
thought I
the
was
other.
being smart, and of course I wasn't. It's one that says it's one of the Künstler.
Well, in any case, we can
Yes.
also talk before we see the image.
Yeah, for sure.
That so you're both from Riga. So and when did this happen?
Well, this was, yes, that's the correct one.
Yes,
Okay,
thank
great.
you.
So we had the robots in, I think, was late May, and we had it until end of June. So yeah, so basically, during this residency, me and Laima were kind of parents for this humanoid robot. And so...
Did it have COVID at the time? Is that why you...
Not the robot, but the, yeah, in Riga. In Riga, we had it.
Oh, I was wondering because you're wearing a
Hazmat
hazmat mask.
Yeah, that's actually a good comment, because one of the reasons why we wanted to use this clothing is basically that we wanted to show that the robot is the main part in this experiment, in this project, and we are just, you know, helpers, a blur in the shadow or something like that.
So it was a stylistic choice to try to remove yourself from the image a bit.
Yes, it was.
It
Yeah.
also adds a little drama to
And,
it.
and you
so.
kind of match, too.
Yeah, and you look like legitimately the parents. There's that,
Yes,
right?
it's true. But sorry to interrupt you.
So
yeah,
maybe we should bring the images back on screen, and then we can scroll to the next one, and then you can talk through what actually you then trained NaoMi to do.
Yeah, so basically, I mean, we thought like, so the idea of the residency was that we should teach robots something. So we had quite a few discussions about what should we teach the robots.
Yeah.
And we came to this that that should be something like fundamental and something that would challenge maybe views and start some discussions. So what we came to is the idea of robot actually being the foster of new life, which in our case was that the robot could be the one that controls the hatching of chicken eggs. And so yeah, as you can see in the image, the robot is there, and we are putting the eggs in an incubator that we actually built for this project.
So explain, how does a robot incubate eggs? I still don't understand.
Well, it's actually very simple. Because to incubate eggs, you need two things. You need proper heat, and you need to turn the eggs every 10 minutes. So the idea was that the robot would control these both things. In the incubator, there was a heating element that the idea was that the robot would control, and an actual device that turned the eggs. So yeah, the robot controlled that as well.
But this links with what we were talking about earlier today with Elizabeth Andre. He was speaking about humanoid robots in the like the care industry, either for children or for elderly or for someone who needs a kind of repetitive care that should be given by a human, but also maybe could be given by a robot, because it's more of a function than something that really needs to have a transfer of like communication, human communication.
Yeah, this is a good comment, because actually one of the reasons why we did what we did is that we had the vision for the future where robots are the ones who take care of the planet Earth. We basically take the humans out of the equation. It doesn't mean that human race has been erased, but it means that most probably with all the trash, not humans will be the ones who will deal. So we found a scenario where actually robots could take care of the life that's left in here. And in this case, those are the eggs. Yeah.
Got it. I wonder how this corresponds with other projects that NaoMi has done. Were you, I guess you, since you did this...
was previously, I believe, the robot learned to fight as well, or box. I hope, did that happen before your project? And was that a risk with the eggs?
That did happen before, yeah, but we didn't replay this action that was learned to the robot. Yeah.
Did you ever, like, maybe you can't say, but did you ever try to use the robot in ways, did you experiment with what the robot could do beforehand, and maybe ways that play with some of the stereotypes that the robot seems to reproduce?
Of course we did. We had like few photo sessions where the robot did some things that, well, yeah, that came
You
yeah.
You have compromat on the robot.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But those pictures are not there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so maybe just tell us what we're looking at now. So
this is the incubator that we built. So inside you would see like the 6 chicken eggs, and this is a 3D printed device that turns the eggs. And then on the rock, on the side, you can see the heating elements, and then there's moss on the bottom.
So the robot is controlling another machine that turns the eggs. This is a total Skynet scenario here. Machines controlling machines.
But was the robot actually taking in information, or was it just programmed to do something repetitive every so often?
It was just a matter of programming.
Yeah. So was it responding to anything, or was it just on a schedule, more or less?
Well, this was only one of the things that we did with the robot.
Okay.
There was this other part that we actually, so in the process when the eggs were like still developing, we taught the robots to speak and to kind of talk with the eggs, but maybe Laima can say about the conceptual side.
Yeah, basically, one thing that robot did was it performed the chicken mother. So basically, we taught how chicken mother walks, and there was the voice of chicken doing caca. Yep. and another thing is that we gave the robot a lot of information. So basically, starting from German existentialism and some ideas about the birth and the egg hatching, ending with I don't know what else we gave, like a lot of information on maternity, on love, of yeah.
So just to sort of reiterate, we collected big data set of all this like information, and we used AI to kind of to create sort of new meaning and new text. So the robot actually, we're using this AI-generated text kind of to talk with the eggs, to talk with the visitors, because this was like proper exhibition. And and it was like sort of telling the ways how you should care about the next generation.
I mean, we definitely played with AI text generation too, and it is quite good.
It is.
Yeah.
It is scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, we try to experiment with the text a lot before we show to the audience as well. But yeah, actually now you can see the third part of our exhibition, where we created an installation from the old technical garbage, basically computer parts, earth, and some sunflower seeds. And during the exhibition period, you could see how the sunflowers grow, and of course, it represents the idea of the life being and surviving after.
I mean, it's an amazing image. Was there any function or any interaction between the biological, carbon-based, chemical sunflower plant and the silicone-based, electrically directed trash?
Well, reactions were there, but it wasn't like we didn't measure, let's say, the things there. It was more like some symbolic part there, and we called it placenta.
I see. Very nice. Well, A+ for art direction across the board. Very, very nice.
And NaoMi was part of this as well?
Well, NaoMi assisted us. Let's say that in that sense.
It was like in the same space, like in the gallery. So the one part was the incubator, and the other part was this, like the placenta.
At the beginning, we thought that the incubator part would be connected with like the placenta part, but with the time we decided that it's fine that they are separately there, and you can give your own connections to it.
I was going to say it's like e-waste and chips and fans, and I mean that's like gore for NaoMi, right? It's like extremely violent and grim scene. So
exactly.
It might be good to have some distance when NaoMi's in her philosopher, chicken caretaker role.
Does any programmer attempted to cross-pollinate the knowledge sets or the programming? Is that even possible?
Well, I think I was the only programmer, but no, we didn't try that, no.
I see. As a cybersecurity artist, did you protect your program against future abuses?
Of course, that comes natural.
Okay, right.
I wonder if spending so much time with NaoMi, the robot, if you kind of perceived it having a personality, did the personality match the way it looks, kind of its face? How did you start to anthropomorphize the robot in a way? How did you think of it in human terms and personality terms?
Well, for me, because I don't come from a cybersecurity part, for sure. At the beginning, of course, when you first receive when we first receive NaoMi, you try to explore it and understand what is happening. Then the first reaction is to somehow put human emotions into it. But with the time, when we understood more the technical part of it, and if I need to find a characteristic for NaoMi, I would say stubborn. Because
very stubborn.
Very stubborn because, of course, we had some struggles with the plans we had at the beginning, and example, the illusion or the idea that, example, NaoMi could take care of human, not human, but living beings, example, chickens. We wouldn't trust NaoMi.
No, not at this point.
Yeah.
No,
no, not at this point of development. Like we managed to create our goal, but yeah.
So you still have some feeling of suspicion and distrust of the NaoMi. It's not a purely utopian story here.
Not with this particular robot, no.
I mean, in a way, though, robots, it's again this very old thing. I mean, I think of like A Small Wonder, which was this 80s TV show where like kind of weird in like retrospect, where this girl was a robot and the dad would like undo her dress and fix her and her back. Yeah, but it was a TV show.
I was never traumatized by this show myself, luckily.
Of course, there's like, it's been part of the popular imagination for a very long time. I don't know if in your research around NaoMi you looked into the evolution of the way we think about robots or the tropes that robots tend to propagate, and if it's changed at all. Is there some new way in which we think about robots, or actually did it feel like this like very kind of old, almost nostalgic thing? Like, here I am playing with robots, like almost something from your childhood or our parents' childhood.
Well, I think sort of the way the NaoMi is built, it is very cute, and when you turn it on, it has all these like micro movements to kind of resemble like a real human being. So in a way, you kind of you develop some sort of affection towards it because like it seems so cute. So in that sense, I don't think there's like any links to sort of like past the images of the robots because this is a different type of robots. So I think it was like developed for care homes and all that.
Right.
Yeah. So it's just like cute, maybe animalish.
Yeah.
And still, I think when we try to discuss the idea what we are going to do with the robot, one of the things were that we wanted to do something with the hopeful scenario, with something where the artificial intelligence and the robots are not in the, let's say, destroy scenarios. So this idea were in our minds, basically, when we were doing this.
Yeah.
And did you ever dream about NaoMi?
Just nightmares.
Really?
At some points, it was very frustrating to actually make it do something.
You just recently showed actually the picture of the result, one of the results of the project, and I think that is the thing that touched our emotional and mental state the most.
Could we see that picture again?
Is it with the two chickens?
Yeah.
So the two chicks, could we see that?
So basically, we made like a live stream page where everyone could just watch how the eggs are hatching slowly and watch the process. And because this is an ethically complicated task as well in some ways, and we were really responsible about these lives that we are helping to create. So all the hatching process, it was so emotional. Like, I mean, like when the first chick hatched, I think I almost cried. It was, it was incredible. So yeah, maybe you can tell more about how the chickens feel now.
Oh yeah, actually, so I mean, these eggs were from a farm, from my, and then when the chicks hatched, the chicks were taken to the farm, and actually, I think last week we had the news that one of the chicks has actually laid an egg. So the process kind of completes, and which is like really fun. I'm not sure if the chick that has hatched is like a robot. Or
Yeah.
We'll see.
Or if it has a fondness for tweeting German existentialism.
I mean, technology does make us human. There is that theory, right? And it is actually closer to us than it oftentimes is made out to seem. So it's a beautiful project that merges those together. If people want to find out more about what you do, maybe this project, but also beyond, could you shout out any links that you think are relevant, or your own profiles, the own work that you do?
Well, first of all, I want to say that we actually created Instagram page for this project for NaoMi. It's there's not like a lot of information, but there are some images maybe that we didn't see today, and it's called NaoMi in Riga. You can find it on Instagram, and through that, I think you can find our both Instagram accounts as well, and then Facebook.
So NaoMi has a data profile on NaoMi somewhere out there, like her data is being like fed into whatever overlord.
What SpawnCon does NaoMi
exactly.
on Instagram? Yeah, and okay, and I guess outside of NaoMi though, does any other aspects of your practice intersect with artificial intelligence? What else are you working on? In general, outside of NaoMi, maybe in the future, or what are your interests right now? Where are you looking?
Yeah, I mean, at least for me, I've graduated out Academy of Latvia, a master's like this summer. My master's project was to do with artificial intelligence. So basically, I've trained AI with my Instagram feed, like suggested posts, and I've created this like new future feed. So at least for me, AI is of big interest, and I'm exploring ways to kind of use it in artistic practice.
Yeah, for me, I actually studied together with Jurgis, even though we cover completely different fields of practices. And what is really interesting, that usually in my work I talk about history, my personal and collective history, and history of different things. So it's fascinating how actually this project and work with artificial intelligence have taught me how to make much bigger future perspectives and how to put my work in a completely different spectrum. So I think I for sure will use artificial intelligence for a much wider perception of actually what I want to say. So it's great.
Sounds great. Well,
I know I'm going to carry the image of in the far future, humans are gone, but there's a lonely robot with his little chicken friends caring for them and spouting philosophy. It's just such a beautiful image. I will keep it with me.
Totally, same. Well, Jurgis, Laima, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, NaoMi. We are, in just a few moments, we are going to go to our final piece of programming for day 2 of the festival. You're going to first see a short film called AI, Robots in Love, AI in Popular Culture, and that's followed by a panel with Kate Devlin, Despina Kakudaki, and Kanta Dival. I hope I said those names right. The program's great. Stay tuned for it. And we will come back afterwards to say goodbye. If we don't see you, see us again tomorrow at 10:45 for the final day of the festival, which will be filled with a few more programs. And maybe will you also be participating in this final panel on stage?
No.
Okay, no. So check out NaoMi in Riga. Okay, and we will see you after the next panel. And
yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.